Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn the concept of reading text files using Python. In the previous video, you understood how we can create a text file using W mode and how we can add new things to an already created text file using append mode, that is A mode. Now today we are going to open Python, and using Python what we will do is we will try to read an already existing text file. So let us first see the text file which we had already created. Now you remember the text file which we had created? Let us take one such file from our E drive. See, file 1 we created, file 2 we created in the previous video. So if I open file 2, let me see what is written in file 2. So we go to file 2 and we open it. How we are reading it? We are reading it using manual mouse clicks. So I open it and see 3 lines are written here. Sham was going to the market, Sita is working in office, and Suraj is a manager. Today what we will do is we'll try to read this file not using the mouse click but by writing a program in Python. So let us go and start writing a program in the Python script. So I am now in the Python script and I'm trying to write a program. So I will use a file object again, open the file. What is the name of the file we have? The name of the file is file2.txt as we saw. So file2.txt is the name of the file. And this time, students, we are not going to use W mode. Instead, we are going to use R mode. What R stands for? R stands for reading. Reading means whatever is written in the file, we'll read those things, bring those things from Notepad to Python. Understood, students? Now, so you well understand that for opening a file in reading mode, the file should already exist in some of the folders. Here in E drive, a file file2.txt should be there. If file2.txt is not there, Python is going to show an error that the file is not there. So you should first be sure that your file is there. The file is already created. Then only read mode works perfectly. Understood, students? So let us proceed and let us now go and write few lines so that we can read it. Now you see, students, F is the file object, open is the function that opens the file for us, and R is the mode which makes the interpreter understand that this time we have opened the file to read from the file. Now students, I will write the line that actually reads the file. This is the line which reads the file. What function we have used? Read function. In Python, there is a function called read that reads things from a file. And when I write f.read, things would be read from file2.txt. Why from file2.txt? Because our servant f has opened it. It has friendship with file2.txt. So Python has sent the file object f. And what we talk of f as? We'll say it to be our servant. Don't say this word to the external. When external talks of what f is, you'll have to answer technically. You'll have to say file objects. So f is a file object. Using f, you have opened the file. So when you read something using f, it is actually going to help us read the file file2.txt. Now when you read something from the file, you'll have to keep whatever you read. So I make a variable here and keep whatever comes from the file into the variable t. And let us now print it. So if I print this t, whatever was in the file would be shown on the Python shell. But we all know that we should close the file before executing. So we close the file. So see, students, how simple it is. You can read a file using this 4 simple lines. So Python is so easy to work with. If it had been C++, C would have to write a lot of lines for doing this particular thing. But here Python is so easy to work with. Now let us run it. So I run it. It asks for name. Say file handling, I give 56. Any name I can give. See, it brought the things which were in the file and it is showing it on the screen to us in the Python shell. We are successful. So you saw how we wrote things on the shell by reading the things from the notepad file, file2.txt. Now student, we should go into some depth, further depth. Now my thing to ask you is that what type of variable would t be? That is, what sort of things f.read gave to t? Is it a tuple? Is it a list? Or it is simple string which it gave? So for that, I'll use the statement type t. So now things would be displayed even, and see the type is giving it is a string. So whatever we brought from the file and kept in t were strings. So t is of string type. So understood, students? Now students, CBSE would not ask you this simple question. CBSE is not going to ask you to display whatever is there in the file. It asks some questions of a higher level. What does it ask? The CBSE question can be divided into three types for text files. These three types are, it may ask you to check for a character and ask you maybe to give the number of occurrences of that character. For example, maybe this is a CBSE question. It will say, write a function in Python to count the number of occurrences of the character, say small a. This is the alphabet. This is the small a alphabet. So I'm putting it in a single so that you can understand. Or I should put it here as a, you have understood, small a from the file. Which file? File2.txt. Now see, I should put it like this, and this is here. So you have understood what we did. I think you have understood. This is the question of CBSE. Now CBSE gives us this question. It wants us to read the character a from the file and display how many times a has occurred in the file. So now this is the question and I'll have to go for the answer. So what we'll do is, we have read. Now I make a variable count and put 0 in it. And now it is not saying to print the things which is written in the file. So I delete this line. What I will do is, I will use a for loop. I have read everything, brought it in t. So t contains the string, whichever were there in the file, whatever were there in the file is now in t. I'll say now if for, we'll say for I in t, if I is equal to a, then increase count by 1. So simple it is. So you understood, students, what I did? Whatever was t, one by one that goes into I, and I check whether I has a character a or not. And if I has a character a, increase count by 1. So when first occurrence of a comes, count becomes 1 from 0. When second occurrence comes, count increases to 2. So in this way, count is counting how many times a comes. And you come out after the whole program has been, that is whole thing of t has been kept in I and has been checked. That is, everything in the file has been read and even tracked for the character a. We'll come out of the loop and we'll write the number of occurrences of a is, what I'll write? I'll write a is count. Count has that number of occurrences. So I wrote count. So let us run this code and see how it works. So we run this code. See, it is giving 9. Now check. We have things here. See, Shyam has 1a, Vaz has another one, so 2. Going doesn't have a, 2 doesn't have, the doesn't have, market has a, so it is 3 now. Sita has another a, 4. Then at in a, that is fifth A. Now Suraj has a sixth A. Now Isa has seventh A, and manager has 2A, that is 9. So it has counted it properly. So you saw how I counted it. So it is so easy to count. And I call this question to be a character question from CBSE. CBSE today gave you to count the character A. Tomorrow it may give some other given batch in some given other year given character, say space. So what you will do for space? It may say count the number of spaces. So go for this. It will count the number of spaces. See, 13 spaces it has counted. Now this is how it works. Now if you say count the number of digits, nothing to do. If it says count number of occurrences of the digit 1, so you'll write 1 like this. But you know my file doesn't have a digit, so it might show us 0. So it is showing us 0 because no digits are there in my file. So whatever, put it there and check it. So I think you have understood how to deal with the CBSE's questions for characters. So this is how we have to deal with it. Now, if we have to work with characters, we have the mastery now. We can work with characters for the questions which CBSE gives us. Now CBSE always doesn't ask of a question of character. It sometimes gives a questions of word. Now what is the question of word? Maybe CBSE may ask you count the number of occurrences of the word, say is. So is the word from the file file2.txt. How will count word? See, it is very easy, students. We'll use a function. See, what we'll do is we'll write s is equal to, I'll create a variable s, t.split. Now what is the work of t.split? Now whatever came in t from the file, that is going to be splitted and kept in a list name s. And what do you know s contains? S contains each word of t as an element of the list s. Now you'll understand it if we remove all these things and run only that part. So I remove all these things, say I put it in a comment, or say we remove it. Again we'll write. Now if I write print s, and even I give the type to see what type s is of. So which function we used? We used the split function. Now what does split do, we'll understand here. I say it first, then we'll see on the Python shell. See, the data from the file came and were existing in the variable t, and we all know t is a string. Now whatever is in t, when I write t.split, that is going to create a list. And what do you think list would have? List would have words from the file, that is words from the string t as elements of the list. So if I run it like this, you'll understand. See, so I had these things here. So what now s has? S has the words from the file, and it is kept as elements of the list s. So you saw how I brought the words together for us. Now I can see each and every word properly and check whether is there or not and count. So this is the technique we use. So how we'll do it? We'll write here, say for I in s this time. So I in s. So everything comes word by word in I, because s is a list which contains words. So first word would come first in I, then second word would come, and I'll check if I is equal to the word is. If it is so, then we'll say count is equal to count plus 1. And after all the things have been counted, we'll print the number of occurrences is occurrence of the word is, say like this, we'll write count. So count will give the number of occurrences. Now we are ready with it. So what did we do? for the question of word. So I say it to be the question of word from the CBSE. Now for question of word, what function comes for our rescue? The split function. What split does? It splits the given data from the file into a set of words, and that words are kept in the list S now, and we can take benefit of the list S in the way we have done. That is, we have written for I in S. So one word comes at a time. We check that word to be is or not. If it is, we will increase the count by 1. And lastly, we will show what count has. So let us go. So 2. Do you see it has 2? Yes, Sita is and Suraj is. If we say I want to check the occurrence of the word manager, I'll write here manager. So I'll write here manager. So MANAGR we write. Let us see what it does. Does it work or not for us? Where I wrote, I should write it here. MANAGR, manager. 0. Why do you understand? Because I had written small m. And what is there in manager? Capital M. So I should write here. So it is case sensitive. I should write here capital M, and then it will show 1. See, it is showing 1. So you understood that it checks properly. That is, it checks the case sensitivity even. So students, you have learned how to read a file and try to do the questions of characters from CBSE. And you also know how to work with word question of CBSE. Now, there is a third type of question which CBSE asks us. What is that? That is a question of lines. What it says to us for lines? It says that maybe a question it asks, write a function in Python to count the number of lines. So we change the question, the number of lines which say starts with, let us come here, which starts with capital S from the file file2.txt. Now it is a question of lines. So first we should know how to read lines. Students, there are 2 given functions for reading line. One is read line function. See, I have written which function? Read line function. Now what read line does is, it does a very simple thing, trivial thing. What it does is, it brings one line at a time. That is, we'll bring one line at a time, and then we can check in that particular line whether it starts with a S or not. How we'll check? We will write here if T is a string, so T is 0 is equal to capital S or not, in this way. But is it good? One line at a time, then next line at a time, you can see how it works. If I give T is equal to f dot read line and print it, print the value of T. So it will give one line at a time. So if I run it, only Sham was going to the market. If I give one more variable and then again say read line and print that also, print text. So it is very trivial. We have to go for read line as many times as there are the number of lines in the file. So we find that there is a problem here. There is one more way to read line one by one. What is that way? Let us see. We can write this for I in name of the file object f. Now what you will have to do is, you will have to write print I. So this also helps us to write in the file, helps us to write in the shell all the things which comes from the file and line by line. You see, I'll use it. So 3 things line by line it wrote. So this is also a way we can use. So this may be a better way to use. I can write here if. I can tackle the question of lines from CBSE. I'll write here if I is equal to. But when I write I is equal to, what happens? If I is equal to means how I'll write the first line, that how I'll write that the first character contains S. Can I write this? No, because I contains everything of the first line. Now can I write this? See. Let us see whether it works or not. If it has to work, what we'll write here? Count is equal to count plus 1 we'll write. Let us see whether it works or not. We'll understand it properly. And then we'll write print the value of count. Now you know how it works. So let us run it. See whether it works or not, or it gives an error. It works. So is it a better way? It is a better way to deal with the questions of lines from CBSE. So you can use which function? You could have used readLine function, but readLine function, and whether it is giving the right thing or not. Yes, all the things starts from S, therefore it is giving the right thing. So if I give a different word, it should give 0. So if I give R here, capital R, 0, none starts from capital R. So you understand how it works. So we had a readLine function, but using readLine I had to write more than one readLine again and again for checking each line. So it is not preferable. What we should do is, we should go for a for loop with the file object, that is for I in F, and check each line one by one in this way. So students, you have understood? Lines can be checked. This is one way of doing it. There is another way of checking lines even. What is that way of checking lines or working with lines, reading lines? Let us go for the next way of reading lines. What we'll do here is, we'll write T, that is T is equal to, so simple we'll do, F dot read lines we will write. Now what read lines mean? It is different from readLine. Here what will happen? Now T would not be a string. T would be a list, and the lines in the file would be elements of that list T. So if I print here, you'll understand. Print, I say T, and I'll say type of T. What happens is a list is created. Let us see. See a list. What are the elements of the list? All the lines from the file are the elements of the list. Now you can use this list to even do our work. You can write for I in T, and you can write if I 0 is equal to capital S. This also works for us. Then count is equal to count plus 1. So you can write this. And you can even give a print. So we would give a print here. Print count. So this would work for us, no problem. See, again it gives 3. So 2 ways for talking of lines, for dealing with the question of lines of CBSE. We saw both the ways. One, you can use the readLines function and then use a for loop on the list T. And second is, you can directly use a for loop on the file object F. Now if the question says the last line talks of the last line, how you'll do of the last line, say, or I should say, if I have a question where CBSE says that count the number of lines which ends with S or something else. Let us see what we had in the file. Say ends with E. Let us go for ends with E. So how to go for ends with? We'll write here len of I minus 1. You know, len of I means the number of elements in I, and minus 1 means 1 less, that is the substitute number of the last element. And here I'll give what? E. So ends with E. So we'll write here this and try to run it. So what it gives? 0. Why it gives 0? Let us see. So students, why are we getting that? Why are we getting this 0? So let us see why we are getting 0. Students, there is a cause to it. Now what is the cause? If you see the Python shell, you will understand it. Let us go to the Python shell. See, here you would think that the last line is E. That is, the last character is E. But the last character is not E. If you see the list which we had printed, what is the last character? It is /n. See, in Shyam is working in office, the last character is /n. So if the last character is /n, then it is actually giving us 0 because it is not E. So where is our last character? It is just before /n, because we had written Shyam is working in office. The /n has been added to it. So for us, for the user, E is the last character and it is before /n. So what change should we do to the code? We should come here and we should write -2. Now if I write -2, then it will give us 1. Let us see. So it gives us 1. So I think students have understood why it was giving 0. It was giving 0 because we were searching the last character for E, and the last character for each and every line, as lines are made by putting the enter key down, that is, we press the enter, then the line is actually made. So the last character always is /n. So we should be going to 1 less than the last character to get our last character. Now students, when you take the board examinations, when you will write it in the board examination, you please clarify it in your answer sheet that why you have taken -2. If you take -2, then length of the list -2, then you will clarify we have taken -2 because the last character always for a line is /n and our last character would be just before it. Therefore we have taken it, and it should be given as a comment. That is, you should explain it in the program code as a comment. So students, I think you have understood it. And if you write even len -1, the teacher also takes it into consideration, understanding that okay, for you the last character was the E, so you have not considered about /n, so -1 also marks are given to it. There is no problem in it. So if you write -2, clarify it, and if you write -1, then also you get the marks. So no problem in it. But practically you should always write -2. Then it works. Now students, what we did today, we learned about how to read a text file. You understood that text files can be read using read function, using read line function, using for loop over the file object, and you can use also the read lines function. Now if somebody asks you what is the difference between read function and read line function, so you will say that read function actually takes the whole given document and keeps it in a variable as string type, but read line takes the data one line at a time, and it also makes what? It makes a string. So difference is read takes everything and read line takes one line at a time. And what about read lines? Read lines take everything and create a list out of it, where each element of the list is one line from the file. So I think you have understood it. So this is how we read and we tackle the question that is given in board examinations. Board examinations have questions on characters, that is questions that deal with characters. Few questions are from word and few questions are from lines. 1 out of the 3 would be asked each year. Now we don't know which question is coming to us, that is which question we are going to take in the board examination, so we should prepare for the 3 questions. Any one out of them can be asked to us. Students, few more things you should know. Let us go and see those things and understand it. See, there is a variation. I can use read with certain variation. For example, if I open the file again, I would write here, say E, and then I will write here, what shall I write? I'll write the name of the file. What is the name of the file? We used, I think file2 was the name of the file. we used file2 dot txt. So this was the name of the file, and then we write a comma out here, and then we give what read. So this was the file. Now see, if this was the file, I used read. I can use a variation of read. I can give a number here in read. If I give this number, it means I'm trying to read not the whole file, but only 30 characters from the file. So now if I write 30, you will not understand. Let us write 3. So 3 characters from the file. So if I print it now, what we are going to see? Let us see. So if I print it now, only SHY, 3 characters. See, from Shyam, only SHY is being shown. So you can use this also if you want to read only a part of the file and not the whole file. So this is also possible. So students, I think you have understood this. One more thing, see here, we are using double backslash while we are giving the path. But in normal operating systems, we use path with 1 backslash. So how should we understand that? Let us go to, say, the command prompt. This is command prompt, where we'll open the command prompt and understand it. See, if you are seeing here C colon, then we have users, and then what we have? Again US. But how many backslashes in between? Only 1 backslash. But why do we need 2 backslashes in Python to give the path? Because 1 backslash is actually taken as escape character in Python. You know, slash A, slash B, slash N for new line. So slash is a special thing in Python which helps to do a work. When you write slash before an N, a new line is created. So we will have to deactivate that property of slash. So I have to give 1 more slash before it. So if this slash, I need it for path, so I need this backslash as a character here, not as a escape given facility, but as a character. So I should be giving a backslash before it, so that its original property of making escape sequence gets deactivated and it is used as a backslash. So therefore 2 backslash we have given here. So students, I think you have understood why double backslash now. You know that double backslash is actually working as a single backslash, but the first backslash is actually trying to deactivate the escape effect of the second backslash. So students, I think it is clear to you. So this concept is now over. One last concept of file handling for today I'll deal with, and that concept is, see students, you unknowingly also, before the start of the chapter file handling, have used the concept of handling files. Now, how have you used the concept of handling files? See students, our computer treats the keyboard as a file. It says that the keyboard is the standard input file. In your childhood, you might have heard that keyboard is a standard input device, because whenever we give input to the computer, we give the input basically using the keyboard. Then mouse came in and we used mouse, but initially what were we using? In the personal computers, we were using keyboards. So we called keyboard as standard input device, and the monitor, that is the screen, was considered to be the standard output device. While programming, Python considers the keyboard as a file. It says it is the standard input file, and it names that file as stdin. Let me write it here, stdin. This is the name it gives. Similarly, it has named the screen as stdout. Python considers the screen as the standard output file, because whatever output it has to show, it shows it in the screen. So Python considers the screen as a file, that is the monitor as a file, and Python considers the keyboard also as a file. And to make you understand, I will use something here so that you also understand, yes, somehow it actually shows that it considers the screen as a file for writing on it, because we write on the screen means what? That Python is showing everything on the screen, it is writing on the screen and showing it to us, and it reads from the keyboard. So Python reads from the keyboard and keeps it somewhere. Whenever we type some characters, Python actually reads it from that keyboard and keeps it somewhere for itself. So in Python, there is a module, you'll understand it, there is a module called sys. It helps us to take work of the keyboard as a file. You saw now, when we want to read from a file, we used f.read. Here to read from the keyboard, we'll use sys.stdin. That is, from sys module, use the keyboard as a file and read from it. So if I write this, what would happen, do you know? See what is happening. Now Python wants me to write something from the keyboard. So I am starting to write something here. So A, B, C, D I write, E, F, G, H I write, I, J, K, L I write. So I am writing all these things. But Python is not stopping. It is saying write more, write more. So I am writing something more. How to stop it? So I'll go and I will go to the shell and I'll say interrupt execution. So as I go and say interrupt execution, what would happen is Python is giving an error to me. What is the error it gives? It gives keyboard interrupt. So somehow we are understanding that Python is actually saying that I was using the keyboard to read and you have interrupted it. So did you see, students, how sys.stdin.read helps Python to read from the keyboard? So how keyboard is being used by Python now? Keyboard is being used like a file. Why I am saying that it is being used like a file? Because for file we use read function to read. We had used f.read. Now what I am using? sys.stdin.read. Sys means from the system. Stdin means which part of the system? From the keyboard, read. So this is how the keyboard is also considered to be a file. Now let me show you one more thing. Normally what you write? You write print and you print whatever has to be printed. Say if I am to print A, I will write print A and A will be printed. But today I will use the formula of using files. I will write stdout.write. You know, for writing on a file we use write function. And now I will write anything here. Say I write A, B, C, D. What will happen? It means that we are going to write a file. The name of the file is stdout. And what did I say to you? Stdout is which file? The screen. It is the screen here. So I'm writing on the screen. So let me see. See, it wrote on the screen. So this is how we are actually making the screen look like a file and Python is writing on that file. Students, errors are also shown on the screen. So for errors also, if I write here stderr, so stderr is also a given name for the screen. Why? stdout is also the name of the screen and stderr is also the name of the screen. Why? Because stdout for output on the screen and stder for error on the screen. So if I write something here, it is again going us to show on the screen. But with which color? See, color is ADFG because Python thinks I am writing an error here. So I am trying to use a file, the screen, the standard output file, and I am writing an error there. So stderr for error and it writes in red color, and stdout.write means I am writing something good on the screen file, so it is in blue color. So students, you saw these given statements. This helps us to understand that yes, Python considers keyboard also like a file and screen also like a file. Keyboard to read and screen to write the good outputs also as well as the errors also. So I think students, you have understood file handling properly for text files till now. In the next class that follows, we will have the video on further operations on text files. So students, for today we will conclude here. Stay safe and have a very nice day. Thank you.